Hello Sunderland fans, how are we getting on? Hope you're alright. Welcome back to another video on the channel. Stay tuned till the end where I'll have an update on some more transfer news, some bits and pieces that we've heard over the last week. But first of all, Dennis Cirkin said his emotional goodbyes this week. Now, is this the start of the exodus, what the club think of kind of these squad players who were not quite good enough to make it in the Premier League? Is this the start of us clearing the decks a little bit and then carrying forward that forward momentum that we're seeing be generating and building the squad, which will now challenge for European football? But Dennis Cirkin obviously posted a video during the week. Everybody's probably seen it now. If you haven't seen it, I will post it at the end of the video so you can watch it. But he also put out a statement to accompany that video as well. So I'll read this for you now. So he said, "Quite the video and caption, but it's crazy how quickly time passes. The goodbye that once felt so far away is finally here. As a young boy, all I wanted was an opportunity, a chance to play, to prove to myself that I belonged. Sunderland gave me that, and that gave me so much more. Because this was never just about football. This city took me in and made me one of its own. The people here are like nowhere else. Proud, loyal, full of heart and so passionate. That spirit gets into you. It changed me. Walking out of the soul with that crowd behind me is the feeling I'll chase for the rest of my life. The roar, the energy, the way it lifts us. That's always you. On the best days you carried us, and on the hardest days you never once turned your backs. I'll never forget that. To this city and its people, thank you for taking a chance on me and for making me feel at home from the very first day. Thank you for the passion, the loyalty, the noise week after week. To represent you and to wear this badge over 100 times has been one of the greatest privileges of my life. When I look back, I won't remember the statistics. I'll remember the heart and soul of our community, the feeling of a whole city behind one team, what we built back up together. I arrived a boy chasing a dream. I leave carrying this place and all of you with me forever. Signing out, under 3. So a great statement there from Dennis. He's been a great signer for me. Been an amazing journey. Yes, he's had his injury concerns, but on the whole, I think he's been a great sign for us. He's part of that kind of rebuild. He joined us in August 2021 under Lee Johnson. It was a massive factor in that promotion season from League One as well. And he's been a massive contributor and just been a massive part of the squad. Now, in that 2021-2022 season, played 41 games that season, 2 assists and 11 yellow cards. He did miss 6 games that season with groin surgery, but like you say, still made that massive contribution. Now, 2022-2023 was that back in the Championship season. Injuries crept in a little bit more that year. Played 29 games, 5 goals, 1 assist and 6 yellow cards and 1 red card. The back end of that season, he scored 2 goals against West Brom, which was a massive factor in us getting to the playoffs that year. He did miss 9 league games and 3 FA Cup games that season with muscle and knee injuries. So the injuries started to creep in that season. Now 2023-2024 was pretty much a write-off for Dennis. He played only 8 games, played the first 5, but after that missed 32 games with injury. And overall he only played 8 games, 1 assist with 3 yellow cards. He does let a yellow card, mind, does Dennis. I've noticed when I've been doing these stats. He likes to put himself about a bit, but hamstring injuries as well, and he had surgery as well, so that kept him out for the majority of the season. 2024-25 was better. Played 39 games that season, part of that promotion back to the Premier League. Only missed 3 games through injury when he fractured that wrist. So that season played 39 games, 3 goals, 2 assists, another 8 yellow cards to his name. And then last season, which would prove to be his last, he missed the first 17 games of the season through injury and recovery. He made his Premier League debut on the 28th of December in the 1-1 home draw against Leeds. In total, he made 10 appearances, 10 first-team appearances with 2 yellow cards. So overall, like I've said throughout the video, in my opinion, Dennis Cirkin has been a great sign for us. He's finished off with a record of 126 senior appearances, 5 goals, 7 assists, 30 yellow cards actually booked in 23% of his games. Unbelievable stat that, and 1 red card. So, and it's been said that his defending is questionable at times and does get caught out of position, hence the reason why he's got that number of yellow cards, I suppose. But he is very, very good going forward. He gives your team something else bombing down that left-hand side. And I do think he'd be a great, great signing for a top-end championship team, especially on a free transfer. He'd be a great addition to anybody's squad. So what's your thoughts on his time at Sunderland? And I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get money for him. Obviously, he's chose to run his contract down. But he does go with my best wishes. I think he'd be, like I say, a great signing for somebody in the championship, and I wish him all the best for what he's done for us. I will leave on Dennis Cirkin the last words to Luke O'Nien, who has put a post out yesterday saying, at Dennis Cirkin, the last 5 years of football have been the most I've enjoyed in my life. Not just the successful seasons, but the ones we failed and had to look at ourselves and make it better. Every time I picture the good, the bad and everything in between, you were always on my left going into battle, and sometimes right behind me saving me when I screwed up. Thank you. You were there next to me in the incredible moments, but more importantly, you were there when me or the team needed someone to step up and be themselves. You were a massive architect of everything that's led us this club into Europe, and you made me a better man, player and teammate. I can't thank you enough. You'll always be family to me. Thank you, legend, and good luck. That just says it all. And sometimes football is not just about what happens on the pitch. It's what goes on behind the scenes. And sometimes we never see that as fans of how important these players are behind the scenes. And they might not be getting a game, but what they do on the training pitch, the bonds that they forge with other players, how they help players through, that's a big side of football us as fans never really see much of. So great kind of tribute there from Luke O'Nien. Like I say, I wish him all the best, and I hope he goes on to do some great things in his career. Only 24, still young enough. He could come back in the Premier League, you never know. I mean, there might be a bottom end Premier League team might look at him. Free transfers, is he worth a punt? But what's your thoughts, Sunderland fans, on his time at Sunderland, and what's your thoughts on Dennis Cirkin? But for me, all the best, Dennis. Thank you very much for all you've done, and I wish you all the best. Now, other transfer news. So Dan Neil, Anthony Patterson looked like following Dennis Cirkin out the door. Obviously, we know Dan Neil's on a free transfer. Anthony Patterson, I think we're looking for around 8 to 10 million quid for him. There's a few teams sniffing around him. I think Derby, Millwall, he was on loan with last season. And a few teams, other teams are looking at Anthony Patterson. Romain Mundle has been linked with a move away. Toulouse, I think they've had a bid rejected by the club, so they might come back and bid again. With Romain Mundle, injury prone, he's got hamstrings made of cheese, and he's struggled a bit with injury. So if we can probably get some money for Romain Mundle, I would probably take that. I think Eliza Mienda is the one that's excuse me. Eliza Mienda is a one that's been expected to leave the Rumours. Now I would personally loan him out and get him another year's game time. I didn't really play much last season. Maybe go to a top end championship team, and our West Ham's been linked, and give him another year in the championship. See how he gets on. If he keeps on scoring goals in that level, then he might come back a better player. I wouldn't sell him. I really wouldn't. I would keep him. I like me, and I think he's good. He's direct, and I think he will score goals given the chance. So, and Wilson Isidore, another one. A lot of speculation around. It's a difficult one with Wilson because he, on his day he's really, really good, but he seems to have more off days than what he does on. Good squad player to have. He's good coming off the bench, but with him he probably want to play first team football. Will he get that with Brian Brobby? Probably not. So just for him, he might be better off with a move away. Simon Adingra is another one. Would you keep, sell or loan him out? He came in with a big reputation, didn't really do it at Sunderland last year, ended up getting loaned out to Monaco, had a good second half of the season there. So would you bring him back in the fold? Would you give him another go? Or should we cut our losses and get rid of him or loan him out again? And there's also a lot of deadwood in the squad that needs clearing. Abdullah Barr, Timothy Pembele, Nazeri Rujan, Louis Hemia, who I forgot was even here. Adji Elise, again injury prone. Alan Brown, Zach Johnson, Niall Huggins, another good player but always injured. Milan Alexic and Ahmed Abdullahi. So all them players there probably need to just move away from the club. Will we terminate the contracts or what have you, or will we try and get rid of them on the cheap? but they're never going to make it at Sunderland in the first team. So it's pointless them wasting their careers in playing like reserve team football. So they might as well leave. Now, players that are linked, obviously these are all rumours that we know about. I'm not going to believe too much. I know I did the video on Kondogbia a while ago, because that's the one that looks like it's the one that could possibly happen. But we've been linked with Tammy Abraham. I'm not too sure on him, really, to be fair. I've watched him a couple of times with Villa, and he's not really, and he's a big centre forward who kind of on his day is really good, a bit like Wilson. But I've watched him a few times, and he's not amazing, if I'm honest. Not really that top end striker that we might need. Jhon Lucumi, another one that's come back on the radar. You know, that transfer saga during last summer that never happened. We've probably been linked with him again. Harvey Elliott's a one. I think it'd be a great signing from Liverpool. How much he would cost and his wages might be an issue, but he'd be a great addition. A kid called Yassine Titrao is the one we've been linked with, I think, from Charleroi. He's another good up-and-coming talent. Geoffrey Kondogbia I've mentioned. Rumours of £110,000 a week for him. At 33, is he going to be that similar type of mould to share the kind of workload with Xhaka? Rooney Bargi from Barcelona, the 20-year-old Swedish, probably next wonder kid, he's been linked. But I think there's other teams in for him as well. Aaron Wan-Bissaka from West Ham, the right back stroke right wing back. He'd probably be a good addition to the squad, good squad depth. And Femi Aziz has been mentioned. I'm not sure about that. I didn't know if he's good enough to be in the Premier League, to be fair, but another one that's been linked. But let me know what your thoughts are on them players that we should get rid of and the ones that have been linked. What's your thoughts on them? Obviously, like we keep on saying, I get loads of comments and they're only rumours and we won't believe until they've actually seen him with a scarf pick and wearing the shirt, which is fair enough. But just want to keep on reporting and keep updating people on these rumours, because some of them will be true, some of them we will be in for, some of them will be a load of shite, we know, of course. But let me know what your thoughts are. Get in the comments of what your thoughts are on Dennis Cirkin, on his time on Sunderland, on them transfer rumours and which players you would keep, loan or sell. But in the meantime, please keep smashing them likes, hyping and subscribing as well. We're doing really, really well. And we'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, stay safe.
live and fight with pride.